All right. Welcome to the Indie Corner After Dark, where we're not only talking about all things independent comics, but everything comics. I'm Mikey.
I'm Seamus.
And today, people, we're back at another episode of the Indie Corner After Dark, episode number 45 of the podcast. And another topic one for you. And again, sorry for the late because we postponed this episode for the past 2 weeks because just things kept happening. Yeah. Seamus got sick, I got sick, and then I had to take care of some shit and all that stuff. So just sickness and life catching and adulting, which sucks. But listen, Seamus, that's not. We persevered. We survived. We're alive.
We did it. We made it.
So thanks again, bro, for joining me as always, bro. Appreciate you. And also we may have somebody else join. We're waiting on Ro, our usual, our latest guest, Ro. He's gonna be coming in a little bit, but yeah, man. But we'll just get right into it, bro. Topic podcast, bro. It's gonna be fun. A lot of news, a lot of stuff has come out, has been announced since we've been gone. But first things first, before we even start, as always, people, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. If you're new to us, or if you've been watching, great. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. But if you're new to us, you just found us, please like and subscribe to the podcast. Really appreciate the support. And Seamus, just started off. I just want to give 2 quick shout outs, right quick. For the first shout out, real quick, I just want to give a shout out to the Black Comics Lords. They are a kind of a group and a collective, out there doing their thing. They did a thing over the weekend. They did their own virtual Comic-Con, and they called it, the Black Comic Lords Virtual Comic-Con. All right, quick. And it was 12 hours long. They pretty much showcased a bunch of amazing, talented Black creators and talked about everything. And Black creators, Black comic book shop owners, collectors, pretty much giving people an inside look on the Black independent comic book scene. And it was a mix of people that I'm actually colleagues with, as well as people like Sanford Green, Dennis Cowan. They gave an award to Dennis Cowan. Shout out to him. And yeah, man. So I just want to give him a little shout out. It was great. So I might drop the link to it right after this podcast is done. I'll probably put it in the description or something. So please, if you haven't already, I think their YouTube channel is called the Black Comic Lords on YouTube. Please check them out. It was dope. And also I just wanted to do this one a little bit more somber, but because this happened a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to get there was a tragic loss in the Black cosplay community. That happened a couple weeks ago by a talented cosplayer. Oh, there we go. Ro, you're live.
Hey, what's up?
What's good, bro? How you feeling?
Sorry, I had to open it in an external browser and stuff. But hey, I'm good. Glad to be here.
No, of course, bro. Happy to have you. I know, better late than never, my guy. It's all good.
Yeah.
But we were just talking about. I was just giving 2 quick shout outs. The Black Comic Lords virtual Comic-Con that happened over the weekend. I think I sent you the link for it. I think on IG at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, it was dope. So if you haven't checked it out already, please check it out. And also I want to dedicate this episode specifically because I was telling Seamus there was a loss in the cosplay community a few weeks ago by a cosplayer by the name of Ash. Trying to go to the slides. Yeah, there we go. By the name of Ash, aka Squid Kid 111. Unfortunately, they were I think they were 20 years old, very talented cosplayer. Very fan of.
So sad. I did see that in passing. It's terrible.
Yeah, everyone was talking about it. Unfortunately, they took their own life due to what their family revealed in a release due to bullying on social media, bigoted bullying on social media.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's very tragic, man. Everybody was talking about this. I couldn't escape it. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen the post a few times. There's it's so terrible. It's just
terrible.
for sure. My gosh.
Yeah. So I just want to real quick just dedicate this episode to her, and condolences to her and her family as well. And yeah, it's just, I mean, it's crazy because like we've known the cosplay community has had its fair share of racism for a long time, and it's a shame that someone as talented as them had to lose their life in order to bring that to light. But yeah, it's a tragic loss. But and obviously, you know, for those who especially nerds of color, you know, cosplayers of color, listen, y'all are loved, y'all are appreciated, like, you know, and y'all
immensely.
Like it's y'all aren't alone, and it's very important to recognize that, and also fuck all those bigoted pieces of shit that leave comments. Y'all are mouth breathing basement dwellers that don't deserve life today, so y'all go fuck yourselves, for real.
Literally. Go off on them. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, R.I.P. to Ash, man. R.I.P. to Ash. And yeah, sorry. So now we're getting into business. So we're gonna be talking about we're gonna go to the topic phase first. Just sharing some comic book news. There's a lot of news that happened over the past few weeks, but we're gonna brush on a few things. But first things first, Seamus, you know, we out here, me and you, we're both Daredevil fans. I assume Ro, you're a Daredevil fan as well, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
And me and Seamus for years have glazed Chip Zdarsky's run on Daredevil. We think it's the best Daredevil run ever, probably of all time. Seamus thinks it's better than Frank Miller's run, and it was like, whoa. Like,
I don't think it's better than. I said it was on the same level as Frank Miller.
Okay, all right, okay.
I think it's on the same level. You can't. I don't think you're beating Frank Miller, but I think you're definitely touching him a little bit.
Okay, all right.
Maybe brushing him.
Right, so,
softly.
Yeah. So all right, so fair enough. And so I know Saladin Ahmed was out right after his, and I didn't really like that run as much. But they announced a few weeks ago that Stephanie Phillips, along with Lee Garbett, is going to be helming Daredevil, and I'm excited for this. I think
I'm not familiar with either, honestly.
What happened?
I said I'm not familiar with either names on this, so I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, well, so Stephanie Phillips, I've read a little bit of her stuff. I think Seamus has read more than I have. But from what I hear, she's very talented. You know, I'm trying to look up what she's done. Oh yeah, she's done like I know she does the book Grimm. I heard Grimm is fantastic.
Yeah,
I've never,
okay, right.
Yeah, Grimm. I know she did like Phoenix, Phoenix.
Her Phoenix is okay.
I know she's done some Harley Quinn. Yeah, but I mostly know her for Grimm. We only kill each other. That book is also really good.
Okay.
And I've seen Lee Garbett's art in the past, so I'm very curious to see what they do with the character. James, do you know offhand what her pitch was exactly? I don't know if they really.
Matt's a law professor now at ESU.
Okay, word.
Well, it's literally
okay.
like the J. Michael Straczynski run of Spider-Man, where Spider-Man was teaching. It's literally like that, but for Daredevil.
Okay. All right,
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
That's
gonna be interesting.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'm just hoping that it's better than the last run. But yeah, I just want to acknowledge that because she's also been getting, of course, when a woman is put on a very high profile character for Marvel or DC, people will start giving her flack. Season 1 is gonna be woke. And I was like, bro, you know, Ann Nesenti wrote Daredevil, right? She wrote one of the most acclaimed Daredevil runs like ever. Like it's not the first time a woman has written Daredevil. Like, relax.
Well, they have to actually read first.
That's true. That's true. But yeah. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. And also, again, because Seamus is gonna hate this, we have a soundboard now, so I got a real quick drop of clues bomb for Stephanie Phillips. Real quick. She's hopefully she does a good job. All right. So yeah, we'll just move on to that. That's just something real quick. So the next thing, literally was announced yesterday. And obviously, we're gonna be going into our comic book catch up on the second half of the later half of the show. But in terms of comic book news, we're gonna talk about Batman, Daredevil, Deadpool in here a little bit later. But they just announced yesterday their next crossover that they're doing between Marvel and DC, and that crossover is none other than Superman and Spider-Man, and it's gonna be written by Mark Waid with art by Jorge Jimenez, which is a perfect
so good.
Perfect team on this. And it's gonna be dropping, I think like March 2026. Yeah, man, I'm very excited for this because obviously we've seen back in like the 80s that iconic crossover between Superman and Spider-Man, and the fact that this is gonna be their sequel to, I guess, Batman Deadpool is gonna be great. I prefer this matchup more than Batman Deadpool. We're gonna go into it in terms of what my thoughts on Batman Deadpool were, but I prefer this crossover a lot better. Love the creative team behind it. Shout out to Mark Waid. I mean, I interviewed the man myself years ago, and he was awesome. Love Jorge Jimenez. He's GOAT DC artist. And yeah, I know there's gonna be a bunch of backups. Like I know like Jim Lee is gonna have a backup with Tom King and like stuff like that.
Yeah, dude, they're doing Mary Jane and Lois.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's evil. You're putting Tom King on Mary Jane and Lois with Jim Lee on art, that's the most misogynistic thing we've talked about tonight. And we've talked about actual.
He ain't lying. He ain't lying at all. Actually,
you're putting Tom King on a book about only women. We couldn't give that to a woman. What are we like?
True.
What are we doing?
As if Wonder Woman wasn't enough.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited for that Jimmy Olsen Carnage crossover backup they're doing, and then Superboy Prime and Black Suit Spider-Man, I think is also the other one.
That Superboy Prime cover was crazy.
Yeah, that cover looked sick.
I like that Superman and Black Suit Spider-Man one. That was really good.
Yeah, Black Suit Superman and shit. That was a good one. I was like,
I'm glad that didn't really make sense of the
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like the Miguel. Who's Miguel O'Hara pairing up with? I forget who that one was.
I'm trying to look to see if there's anything. I don't see anything with Miguel O'Hara at all. I didn't see a cover for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, just real quick. But they said that there's gonna be stories featuring Tom King and Jim Lee are doing a story. Matt Fraction and Stephen Lieber are doing a story. We're doing a Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen story where he teams up with Carnage, which is hilarious.
Yep.
Sean Gordon Murphy is going to be doing a Superboy. Oh, he's going to be doing a Superboy from the Legion of Superheroes teaming up with Miguel O'Hara for $20.99. So that's gonna be
there.
awesome.
We go. Okay.
Because I'm a huge Sean Gordon Murphy fan. I love Sean Gordon Murphy.
Now that you said Legion of Superheroes, that makes more sense because I was confused before. Right?
Yeah, Did you see they got Chris Priest on the Superboy Prime and Black Suit Spider-Man one.
Priest is doing I got it.
They got fucking Chris Priest on Superboy Prime, man. And then I think they also had Greg Rucka on the Daily Planet, Daily Bugle one.
Yeah, Nicholas Scott is drawing. I love Nicholas Scott. And Gail Simone and Belen Ortega are doing a Power Girl meets Punisher story.
That was another interesting one.
Yeah, I was like, huh? But listen, it's Gail Simone.
They got Jeff Lemire and Rafa Sandoval on Pa Kent and Uncle Ben crossover.
That's crazy.
Which is hilarious.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then there's going to be a bunch of variant artists: Jim Lee, Scott Williams, Alan Sinclair, Daniel Sampere, Nicholas Scott, Olivia Coipel, Adam Hughes, a bunch of artists, bro. A bunch of artists. So we'll see how much we'll see what happens when it comes out. But this releases March 25th, 2026. And yeah, we have a comment. Ooh, my girl M Shy. Yo, shout out to M Shy. Love you. Amazing creator, amazing friend. She said she loves Gail Simone, as you should, because Gail Simone is dope. Yeah. So y'all ready to move on? Y'all any more thoughts y'all want to give, or y'all good?
No. This is, Wait, what more can we say other than this is we're glad that this shit's happening again?
Finally. Yeah, it's happening, man.
20 years.
It's good stuff. So, I'm definitely this is gonna be on the pre-order list for sure. But yeah, all right. So we'll go on to the next topic real quick. So next topic, obviously, this happened literally today. But obviously one of the most anticipated movies of the year next year is going to be obviously from DC Studios, Supergirl, starring Millie Alcock, along with Jason Momoa playing the role he was born to play. And it's pretty simple. This one literally just dropped new poster, because the trailer is going to be coming out tomorrow. And I already was talking to Seamus. We are gonna do a reaction for it, so I'm very excited.
There we go.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on this cover? I thought when I saw the Instagram post, I thought it looked dope, but also I think the music for it. I thought the music was really good. I was like, this is gonna be the theme. I'm digging it. But yeah, I'll let one of y'all speak.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, the color saturation looks kind of funky, but I like it. I think very, very deep. It looks like a very warm colored movie. You know what I mean? Like it looks very like they're going a lot reds, a lot of warmer tones, which I guess is makes sense for some of the planets in Woman of Tomorrow. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't know how I don't know how I feel about the trench coat look. I didn't know how I felt about it in Superman, and I still don't really know how I feel about it here.
I think it looks good. I think it works. Because
again, it's kind of weird. It's fine. I just hope it's not like a thing. You know what I mean? I hope it's not just like, now Supergirl's always gonna have like a weird 90s overcoat that they gave to all the X-Men. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's straight out of Woman of Tomorrow. So I mean, that's what they're adapting. That's the aesthetic they want to have. So I don't know. I'm curious to see how it looks. But yeah, and Superman looked a little off, but like we'll see how it looks in the trailer tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Ro, what about you? What do you think of this poster?
It kind of reminds me of Rebel Moon. Like
oh my god,
the bits and pieces that we've seen from the trailer. I was like, I think I've seen this before. But no, I'm so ready for this movie. All jokes aside, because I'm ready for a new age of like superheroine movies that don't have an Israeli-led villain. Sorry, not villain, hero.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm all ready for it.
For sure, and I do like how I'm a huge graffiti dude, so like I love the whole graffiti background they're going, like graffiti kind of look they're going with this Supergirl movie, and also like the tagline is like truth, justice, whatever. I just think that's funny. But
how do we feel about her compared to Benoist from a few years ago? I think she has like real potential.
I mean, what are my thoughts on Melissa Benoist?
I know we haven't seen much to compare, but
I know. I mean, like it's like I like Melissa Benoist as an actress, and I thought she fit the role well. But like, granted, it was a CW show, bro. They were dragging that shit too long. But
yeah.
But I mean, I feel like with her, with Millie Alcock, she has a more like younger, more rougher
more like
look.
Justice League Unlimited theme.
Yes, that I feel like that. Yeah. So, and that's a Supergirl that like I remember like loving growing up. So,
yeah.
And M. Shai was saying, she says, I wonder if it's a stand-in for a cape in this image. I could, maybe, I could see that. I mean, the cape is back there somewhere. And
I guess before we move, I'll say I don't mind the trench coat because, it is in the story, but also superheroes always had that sort of. I think of like The Thing, TMNT. There's always a trench coat. Everyone's got a trench coat at one point in time or another. It just depends if it's gonna like. I don't want it to be like she earned her cape thing, or
she earned her
like
cape.
They're gonna make it a thing. I don't know.
Funny. Yeah, I hope they don't do that too. And granted, like trench coats are just like a thing. Like Ben Grimm has a trench coat, and then Raphael has a trench coat. Trench coats are in, bro. They just been in nerd stuff, so it's all good. But yeah, and it's just so true. M. Shai agrees. So there's that. All right, so we'll just move on to the next topic then. All right, so next topic. I know Seamus is kind of dreading this because we've all been talking shit on this for a while in terms of this movie coming out, but obviously Marvel, they're obviously they're I think they're still filming it or not, but Avengers Doomsday is coming out next year, and we have our gripes with it and all that, but while we were gone for sick and dying for 2 weeks. Apparently there was a leak. There was a leak, involving the teams, and I thought we should talk about this just real quick. So the teams that they revealed in this leak are kind of obvious, but we'll go through it. But yeah, so the teams that are gonna be established throughout the course of this film consist of Team 1, which is Thor, Ant-Man, Loki, Sam Wilson, Captain America, Joaquin Torres as the new Falcon, looks like Simu Liu as Shang-Chi, and then Team 2 are the Thunderbolts. So I'm literally the same team we saw. Oh, sorry, the New Avengers.
There we go.
yeah. It's a distinction. And it consists of Winter Soldier, Black Widow, Elena Belova, Black Widow, Robert Reynolds, aka the Sentry, Ghost, U.S. Agent, and Red Guardian. And then Team 3 consists of pretty much the Wakandan / how do you say Tilakanites, whatever. Shuri, M'Baku, and El Nino Sin Amor, the GOAT, and then the Fantastic Four. So don't even list them. We know who the Fantastic Four are. And the last team consists of the Fox X-Men. So obviously, Xavier, Mystique, your boy Channing Tatum as Gambit, James Marsters as Cyclops, Scott Summers, Alan Cumming coming back as Nightcrawler, Kelsey Grammer as Beast, and Ian McKellen as Magneto. So we kind of knew this was the case. They did this, so this league kind of just the only big surprise is Team 1, because Team 1 is a little mix, but all these other teams you kind of already knew were going to take place, when the casting was announced. So, what are your thoughts on this, right quick?
Don't ask me that. Don't ask me.
yeah.
No, okay. So sorry, Seamus, you can sit. You can sit there, Ro. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know, man. I really wish they had. If we're gonna just bring the X-Men back, all of this is whatever, but they should have did something daring. Bring us the Dark Phoenix X-Men team back. At this point, if we're just gonna go completely crazy, you don't applaud that. I'm not being serious. I don't know. I hope this.
I'm checking the soundboard because I don't know what to give that. I don't know what to give that response.
Oh man.
I'll give it.
This movie is just a dead horse. Such a dead horse.
I mean,
I feel like they're waiting for either Patrick Stewart or Ian McKellen to kick the bucket so they can put a in memoriam at the end and watch this movie for that. Yo, Jesus. It's just I felt like when they put Patrick Stewart in Multiverse of Madness, they've been on this whole Fox movie send-off for 10 years now. It's been ridiculous.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
and the original movies weren't even that good.
No.
They're not.
The first two.
They're not really that good.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, again, we'll see this
also,
play out.
This feels like the X-Men team of these are the actors who we could get. What I mean?
Yeah.
No disrespect to any of these guys, but they're not the in-demand X-Men actors.
That is true.
When you're working with Kelsey Grammer, you're not on the A team. You know what I mean? You're kind of down there.
Yeah, I was just about to say, what's Kelsey been up to these days?
Fucking nothing.
Nothing really.
probably doing more like
Girlfriend's reboot
theories and shit.
Girlfriend's reboot. That's crazy. But yeah, man. This movie, I don't really think. Again, we're just like we know what's happening, and we're not really.
It's like cancer
with this movie.
It's like cancer. It's literally like cancer. Yeah. It's there all the time. I know it's happening. It's slowly hurting me. It's gonna be over one day, but like, God, I wish it was over right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the DC age of dominance, baby. Y'all better get out of here with this Marvel shit.
Yeah. This is DC's time, baby. That's what it is. Right
this is gonna be the Marvel century of humiliation. Like, we're done.
There we go. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think like, and you're not like reeling me in with any of the other actors or characters in this movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no one else in here. It's like, it's literally like it feels like an 80s Avengers event where it's like, okay, there's no Spider-Man, there's no Hulk, there's no Wolverine, there's no, you know what I mean? There's none of these big guys. We're with all the secondary heads and like maybe the Fantastic Four for more than 5 minutes. Like, we're done. Like, this universe is washed.
Forget the Eternals too.
There's not going to be a Cap. There's not going to be an Iron Man. There's not going to be any, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, we're working with like Thor meeting like fucking like Red Guardian. We're fucked.
Yeah, we're cooked.
What are we doing?
And the thing is, right? It's like, to be honest with you, I'm not really that excited for it. I'm just waiting for it to be over because I know after after Secret Wars they're rebooting anyway. So like, I'm just like this. Okay, let DC reign, baby. It's DC's time right now.
We're gonna get a trailer for it like in like 2 or 3 days, and I guarantee you it's gonna look fine. Like it's gonna come out, and it's just gonna look fine, and everyone's just gonna be like, yeah, it's a little exciting. Like, oh, cool. Some of those costumes look really good, but like, actually, it's just gonna look like, yeah, like that's coming out, I guess.
So so pretty much, like it's just the vibe. It's moves all around for me. I'm like, it's whatever. All right, yeah. So let's just move on to that because I don't want to talk about this no more. Obviously, the big news that's been happening the past few days is because obviously Warner Brothers is being sold off again for like the third time, and it's like in like 6 or 8 years. Crazy, like what? Like actually, first and there were 3. Obviously, they had a bidding war. There were 3 companies that had the top bid that the Warner Bros. Was looking for. It was NBC, Comcast, Universal, Netflix, and Paramount, which recently became Paramount Skydance after the merger that they had over the summer. And it was revealed I think on Friday that Netflix got the highest bid, and it has the exclusive rights to essentially go through with this deal to buy Netflix. To buy Warner Brothers. So right now, Netflix and Warner Brothers potentially gonna merge. This is a bad idea. Let's just start there.
It's abysmal.
Well, to start here. We'll put the music back on. First things first, I didn't want. Actually, wait. Why is Warner Brothers even getting sold off? Like, let's start there. Why is it even getting sold off? They've been
struggling the last few years because of Zaslav.
Yeah. So
that's why they're getting sold. Do you think this is gonna kill AEW?
Oh, that's right, because it's TBS. I didn't even think of that.
Well, it's TBS, and Netflix owns Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
And the last time Warner Bros. Got sold off, it killed WCW. So gonna kill another wrestling promotion with this deal.
Yeah.
It never ends. Disney owns everything.
I didn't even think of that. But yeah, I mean, I guess because David Zaslav has been doing a bad job. I mean, obviously he's been cutting stuff for tax write-offs and and all that and shit like that. But yeah, well, to start it off, For me, it's a lose-lose situation because my personal pick, I wanted NBC to get this just because I thought, because NBC doesn't really have, NBC Universal doesn't really have that many, like, that doesn't have the catalog of IPs that Warner Brothers has, and I feel like it's becoming a little bit smaller, and I feel like it would to increase its market share and its its longevity in the entertainment industry. I felt like a merger between them and Warner Bros. Was a safer choice, and also they had like their offer was a lot more flexible. So they were like the safer choice. But I forget. So they're my top pick. But I for damn sure did not want fucking Paramount getting this at all. Nope. I didn't want MAGA Mount touching this shit. But yeah, like Netflix is what's it called?
Just so skeptical.
I don't know if it's Rebecca or if it's Lexi. It says this sucks but it also could be worse, which also sucks to say. Yeah, it's like this, like Netflix, because Netflix's business model is literally will without a doubt impact theatrical releases. But granted, like if Paramount gets it, it'll literally be turned into a right-wing political machine due to David Ellison, who is the founder and CEO of Skydance and is now in charge of Paramount due to the merger, has leanings to this administration. So yeah, it would, and we were seeing what they're doing with CBS, like 60 Minutes, Stephen Colbert, like, and I remember Ellison saying there was a quote that he said he wants to turn, like when they got Paramount, but they want to start making more MAGA leaning content. So if I know for a fact if they got Warner Brothers, and I'm mostly emphasizing this on DC Studios, obviously, because comics is the comic book section. I know for a fact if Paramount got Warner Brothers, James Gunn would have been fired off rip due to his political stance and how much he reflects his views in his work. And M. Shine also put it on the head too. Antitrust laws, which again we got to see how this deal goes through, because they said it will take a year for this deal to go through, and the government could, like the DOJ and also Agent Orange, could axe this shit if they see this if this goes against antitrust, but not just here, but also antitrust laws across governments across the world as well. Yeah, I'll start this off. Well, what are y'all thoughts on Netflix getting this? What do you think the pros are? What do you think the cons are? If you can think of any.
The pros are nothing. The cons are many.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason I had to drive to an independent theater to see Knives Out this weekend is because Netflix point blank refuses to do any kind of good theatrical releases for any movie that they produce. Netflix is steadily bleeding money. They're probably going to go under in a couple of years. Because they've been losing billions for like the last 3 or 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and them having the WB library is awful, and it's equally as awful as if Paramount had it. Everything just sucks now.
Yeah.
No, for real.
Bro, what about you, bro? What do you think? And I'll elaborate.
Yeah, I'm really not too far off that disposition. It really is abysmal. For me, it feels like they should have just released that Batgirl movie and all our problems would have been solved, personally speaking, but whatever. No, it is dumb. It's just like people are just going to go back to pirating. Like, I feel like we're going to work our way back, really way back to the 2000s or the 80s with just no one paying for anything and piracy, and that's it.
Yeah, I'll just elaborate on some stuff. I know like M. Shaw was mentioning the antitrust laws. I know for a fact if this deal does go through, Warner Brothers and Netflix merging, the only competition they'll really have is Disney and Disney. So all the other studios like Sony, NBC Universal, they won't be able to compete. So just this lack of competition is going to be an issue. I love how when the announcement was released that they bought Netflix, that Netflix was buying Warner Brothers, they're like, oh no, we're dedicated to theatrical releases. And Sandoval, I think his name's Sandoval, the CEO of Netflix, has been saying repeatedly, "Oh no, we want to go into the theater business. We want to go to the theater business, and we want to support theatrical releases, and we want to keep Warner Bros. Independent. So and commit to theatrical releases." Then like the day after, they backpedaled and were like, "Oh no, but we're gonna shorten the release window for how long movies can stay in theaters," and we're just like, "Oh no," because like that's literally like because lowering theatrical release windows so they can go on streaming quicker will literally like crush the box office, and also will have a difficulty for theaters, whether big or independent, to survive. Like and it's really gonna hurt people that enjoy the movie theater going experience. Like Seamus, when we were in New York a month or two ago, and we went to Nighthawk Cinemas in Brooklyn, and it's gonna affect like those type of like independent theaters. Like there's an independent theater in where I live in the Poconos Cinema. That's like a two theater joint. Like it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt like the independent theaters a lot with this, because like it's gonna hurt the theater industry. It's gonna hurt jobs and wages due to how due to revenue not enough revenue being able to sustain Hollywood as a whole. It could affect just creativity, because Netflix likes to, even though Netflix is all about numbers, views, subscription counts, appeasing their algorithm. They're about churning out stuff quickly. So and they make a lot of, even though they do make some good movies, but they also make a lot of slop, a lot of bullshit too.
I was about to say, it's so much slop. It is so much slop.
Yeah.
And
it's gonna, and I feel like there won't be able to be. They're all about churning stuff out, and they're not gonna really be focusing on like the creative. I think like creative risks. Like I don't think Netflix would make a Sinners, or like make a Weapons, or like make a One Battle After Another. They're just not about the creative side of the authenticity.
And Mikey, even right there, you're naming like big budget movies that have like, they shouldn't even be like risks for a major studio like Warner Brothers, because that has notable IP and actors like you got Ryan Coogler, you got Michael B. Jordan. That shouldn't be a gamble. But of course, in today's administration, if they see a black actor and a black director, of course it has to be a gamble now. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. M. Shy, again, this is why I love you. She's saying, I say we go back to pirating, but now they'll do weird stuff like release the Death Thrones on us for our fire sticks. Our fire sticks. Yeah, no, for real. I can definitely imagine that.
They are called fire sticks.
Yeah. But yeah, man, and Netflix sometimes they'll release like a Rebel Ridge, which again I love Rebel Ridge. Or like I can't even name another project that I love from Netflix. That I know was like a good movie. Like they don't really take a lot of creative risk, even though they do make like art house films. Like on occasion that they put in theaters limitedly.
I mean, like I was gonna say, like I had to drive like out of my way to go see Jay Kelly and Wake Up Dead Man this past week, and I was just like, man, this would be so much more convenient if Netflix just put these movies in actual theaters. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
right.
I have to drive 45 minutes to see a new Ryan Johnson Knives Out or to see a new Noah Baumbach.
And the only reason why they put them in theaters for a slow release window so they can have Oscar eligibility. So yeah, I mean it's gonna be bad. Like it's again, happy Paramount's not touching it, but like again, this could really they could kill Hollywood with this, because I know for a fact that like immediately like James Cameron came out saying that this is a bad idea. Like big creators and filmmakers, actors have come out saying this is a bad idea. And I know immediately because I was watching Grace Randolph do a breakdown, because it's like that's the only time I really watch Grace Randolph these days is when she's doing like big breakdowns when deals like this happen. Where like immediately and I think this is on the cusp. Like she kind of called this. All the guilds are gonna sue, like WGA, BGA, DJ, the SAG. They're already trying to have meetings with Netflix and Warner Bros. To stop this deal from happening. So there's that. And also at the same time, I could also I know that Magamount dropped like a hostile bid to try to reel the investors and the shareholders so that they can acquire, even though Netflix pretty much got it fair and square because they got the final, because their offer was the final offer. But Paramount could also just be petty and just be like, call up Daddy Agent Orange and be like, hey, stop this deal from happening. He's like, all right. And they could just call the administration and have this deal just cut if they wanted to. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Like if a situation where it's like, if I can have it, no one can. So yeah, man. But to bring it back to like, because the big thing is with DC Studios, obviously comic book channel, talk about comics, but we also love movies and TV stuff here that we don't shame. But from the DC Studios, what are your thoughts on the hike? Okay, if Netflix say, like, I feel like if when it comes to DC Studios, I don't think that because obviously when companies get bought, they fire, they restructure, they replace people. I think James Gunn and Peter Safran in this case, I think Netflix is going to keep them. I don't think Netflix is stupid enough to just like fire them after, like we were saying off camera, Seamus, how the DC universe is just ushering in, and like how it's looking like it's going in a bright direction. It's positive. It's getting good reception. I don't think Netflix will just fire James Gunn and start over again. It doesn't seem like a smart choice. However, if our Netflix were to keep James Gunn, leave him the fuck alone. Let him cook. Leave him independent. Let him cook as much as he wants. Because the moment James Gunn will feel like the shady hands of Netflix are grasping over his creativity, he'll leave. And there are plenty of studios that will want to take him.
Yeah.
So, like worst case
DC
scenario,
can't catch a break. That's all I know.
No, they can't catch a break, bro. It's ridiculous. Worst case scenario, Kevin Feige says after Secret Wars, I'm retiring. I need a replacement. And James Gunn decides to leave coincidentally after Netflix's hold on DC. Hey, James, want to replace me? He'll happily do it. and it's James Gunn back at Marvel as the head. He'll happily do it. So that's like, and that'll crush DC. I know that for a fact. In that scenario, yeah. Well, so what are your thoughts on the DC Studios side of things? Like before we move on to next. So
they're probably gonna be fine. Nothing's gonna change there at all.
Yeah. It's a stupid move. It's a dumb move in my opinion to just fire James Gunn and even Peter Safran. But yeah,
it's like, I feel like this came out of nowhere. This deal, I'm like, I don't know how deep everything's gonna go for real.
Yeah, because there's many.
It's like they have no reason to fire James Gunn, and then no reason to keep him. I feel like either.
Yeah, and they also said they would keep. Again, if they're sticking to their statement saying that they're going to keep Warner Brothers independent, and they would just own it. They also were thinking of having the two co-heads of Warner Brothers Films also to stay as well. So in terms of creative and stuff, it seems like they're gonna keep all the heads where they are. So, but we'll just
They're
see.
just saying that to butter us
I
up.
know. Like, I can't trust.
Like,
we can't trust these people.
We won't do anything until they can do something.
Yeah, true. And I'm sure I was saying right. I'm blindsided by the entire deal. Yeah, it's came on a left field again. Even though this is still kind of bad, just to close it off, it could be worse.
Seems like a lot of that in 2025.
Pretty much. But best case scenario is that this deal goes south. And in fact, if this deal ends, I think Warner Brothers and Paramount, Netflix has to pay Warner Brothers $8 billion as like a sorry this didn't work out fee if the deal doesn't work.
Dang.
Yeah, right. But yeah, man, it just Netflix and fucking. Well, it'd be too powerful. They'd have the entire catalog, and the catalog is Harry DC, Harry Potter, Dune, it'd be bad. It'd be bad, and the only competitor would be Disney. Like that is just realistic.
I already felt bad enough when they got Sesame Street. I'm like, y'all got Batman and everyone else now,
right? But yeah, overall, it's just. Yeah. Like the entire time, I'm just going like this. I'm just going like that. I'm like, this is just bad. Like, but yeah, all right. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes because again, anything could happen. All right. So to move on, now we're just gonna be at the real fun begins. We're gonna be doing our comic book catch up. So now we're gonna be talking about books we've been reading. So people who are watching this, take some notes. If you have anything you want to recommend that you're reading, drop it in the comments right quick. Shall we say real quick? Media fascism is a big term for Elmo. Apparently, yes. Oh man, but yeah. So I got a bunch of books that I got on my slides listed here. Again, Rogue, Seamus, is there anything that y'all want to talk about that I haven't mentioned? Just feel free to say stuff. But I feel like most of us have read a good amount of books. But yeah, all right. So start off the whole comic book catch up. This is number 2 because the number 1 was last a few weeks ago. I'm gonna go the indies first because obviously Indie Corner, it's in the name. I don't really got much, but I know the big thing for me. Because me and Seamus have been reading Witchblade lately, and but literally, I don't have that on here because I'm behind on Witchblade. I'm like an issue or 2 behind.
Oh, it's lit.
I know. I've heard it's dope.
Big indie fan. You're gonna be executed now.
Stop it. I don't want to hear that mess. But right now, the big thing that was coming out in terms of Top Cow that I was waiting for years, ever since they did that reboot of Witchblade several years ago. But they finally dropped The Darkness #1. I read that shit too. I read that shit front and back. That shit was incredible. I was like, it
was good.
Even though it's pretty much the similar, or it's pretty much kind of like the same origin, but with a little bit of tweaks. Yeah. Ro, have you read you ever read anything like The Darkness or read Witchblade at all or no? I'm just curious.
I've heard of Witchblade. I haven't checked it out. The art looks really beautiful looking at it from here.
I'm a huge Witchblade fan. I'm a huge Darkness fan. Darkness is like one of my favorite indie comic characters of all time. It's pretty much.
Okay, I see now. Yep, I do.
Have you ever played the Darkness video game? You ever heard of it before?
No, I haven't actually.
Oh, okay, well, recommend play those joints. They're good. But so pretty much this is, this pretty much Darkness spinoff of Witchblade. We saw Jackie Estacado, who's the main character. We saw him appear in the Witchblade series that's happening right now. It's pretty much the follow-up to that, going through him now embracing the power of the darkness. It's amazing, and I really dug it. Seamus, what do you think reading it? You dug it?
Yeah, it was so fun. It was so much fun. I just was like, I miss the darkness. I miss having a solo. I miss Jackie. So like you said, I did think the little tweaks they changed were only to make it fit better with the Witchblade, reboot, and also I was like, oh, these are interesting enough. I like these. It's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially with us, the way they do the introduction of Sakatine and the Angelus, that was so much fun. I was like, that's awesome. Yeah. So we'll see where that goes. And also M Shy put me onto this because I forgot this. I didn't know this book was happening. But Crownsville by Rodney Barnes, man, it's his new book he's doing for Oni Press. Rodney Barnes, who again, friend of the channel, we interviewed him last year. Did Rogue Philadelphia, Nina Hall's Nightmare blog, Blackula, which me and Seamus love. This is his new book that he's dropping for Oni Press. I'm trying to get the artist's name here. But yeah, it's dope. Seamus and Ro, have you heard of this book at all?
Yeah. I think I remember you mentioning it. Definitely sounded interesting. I definitely do want to get to it at some point.
Yeah, it's pretty much a horror, kind of a horror mystery comic taking place in present day about this this abandoned psychiatric hospital called Crownsville Hospital in Maryland and Annapolis. And the main character, his mother passes away, and she reveals as a ghost that she used to be a part of this mental hospital back in like the 50s, and it was rumored that they did a bunch of illegal and horrifying experiments on black and brown children, and their spirits maybe haunting the abandoned asylum. It is really good, and M. Shai says it here. It says same vibe as Nita Hawes, but has more of a historical fiction slant. M. Shai, because I know you're in the DMV area. Is this kind of like based off of like true events? I don't know if you can fill me in on that. But I read the first issue. I know issue 2 came out today as well. I didn't get a chance to read that, but it is really good. Highly recommend. Again, if you love like horror, again, like what M. Shai was saying, historical fiction, like horror. It is really good. Very, and the artist who draws it is it's kind of like it's like Jason Sean Alexander-esque. It's that type of style. It's very like kind of like painted look. It is dope. But
nice.
Yeah. So we'll move on to the next books. These are the last 2 I have for indie books. But Power Fantasy number 12. And I just started reading Power Fantasy by Kieran Gillen and Casper Wingard, and I just started reading Assault Crisis Events by Denise Camp, which Seamus is a huge Denise Camp stan. He loves Denise Camp. I'm just gonna say this off rip because like I can't really explain much about Power Fantasy without spoiling it. If you're ever reading Power Fantasy right now, read it. Just read it. It is one of the best books of the year. If you like books like I feel like it's very comparison.
Don't say Watchmen. Don't say Watchmen. Yeah, don't say you can't be ripping Watchmen-esque with everyone. It's good. It's really good. If you like books that are a little more about the power dynamics between superheroes and a little more about like superheroes as a medium, then like read Power Fantasy because it's really interesting how they turn a lot of the normal superhero tropes on its head a little bit.
And no, for sure. And it's the way they do the idea of ethics and ethics and superpowers. I feel like is very interesting, and how it affects regular human beings, how it affects governments, how it affects the superhero population in this world. Like demons and angels, and it's crazy. And magic. Like it's an amazing book. I mean, the artwork by Casper Wingard, who does he does the penciling, the inking, the coloring. It is amazing. It's a beautiful book to look at. So I'll say that off rip. And then Assault on Crisis Events by Denise Camp, and the artist escapes me. I don't but actually, Seamus, because you're more deep into it than I am. What do you think of Assault on Crisis Events? I want to hear your thoughts on it.
It's okay. I was thinking like I don't know. It's so I feel like it's in conversation with Denise Camp's other works currently, where I feel like his Ultimates run is kind of like how we deal with more long-standing societal problems.
Yeah.
And then I think Absolute Martian Manhunter is more about how we deal with interpersonal problems, like problems within our community with other people that we struggle with. And then I think Assorted Crisis Events is all about like personal problems, because I feel like a lot of it is focused on your own personal inward feelings or thoughts or actions, and how you personally struggle with like reacting to stuff that is outside of your control and stuff that, you know what I mean? And he kind of uses these very well-known comic book tropes for like universe shaking events, and then ties it into a personal feeling that you may be feeling. Like my favorite issue so far was the time loop one, and how he kind of it essentially equates like time looping to how depression feels, and how it kind of feels like you're eternally stuck in this loop of doing stuff over and over again and not feeling anything anymore because you're just doing the same shit trying to stay on track. Yeah. And the way that he did that, I thought was super beautiful. And I think that's why it's definitely should be read alongside his other books, because I think they're all kind of talking about societal problems that are at different levels. You know what I mean? It's like Ultimates is societal, Absolute Martian Manhunter is like interpersonal, and then Assorted Crisis Events by that logic feels very, very personal. It feels very like, you know what I mean? So that's why I think it's like on the same level as Absolute Martian Manhunter or Ultimates for me, because I've been really enjoying it so far.
M-Shot was saying that she can relate. Wild. Wild.
It's good shit.
But yeah, man. I've been loving it, and also it's Eric Zawadzki on the art. And then remember, M-Shot was saying, I'm sorry, I'm going through your comments right now, but she's saying is like I love that. She's saying about power fantasies. Like, is it like it's like I've done crossovers like that. Power fantasy, I feel like it's more like Watchmen. I feel like a sort of Crisis Events is more like crossover in a way, like kind of.
I'd say they're all very similar in that they are all kind of taking very, very well established comic tropes and stuff that and using that to kind of flip it on its head and kind of play with it a little. You know what I mean? Like, because they're both predicated off, you know how this goes, and then flipping it and changing it so that way you are still entertained and you're like, oh, interesting interpretation of how you would do that version of like a Crisis on Infinite Earths or something like that. You know what I mean? I got you.
But yeah, bro, I'm really digging it so far. I mean, I just finished issue 1, so I just started. Yeah, man, I'm loving it so far, man. It's good stuff. Bro, if you haven't read it though, add these on your list too. By the way, if you haven't read it.
I'm like taking note right now. Exactly. Yep.
All right, so that's all I really got for the indie stuff. So we'll move on to the DC side of things, DC Comics. So the books I got to start off with, off rip, we're gonna talk about Batman Deadpool number 1. I'll say this, I liked it a lot. I thought, because I know it's Dan. I think I believe it's Dan. Is Dan Moore or Jorge Jimenez on art?
It's Dan Moore. It's Dan Moore and Grant Morrison.
And Grant Morrison. Yep. And I thought it was really good. It was interesting because it was kind of a like, I love how in Grant Morrison fashion the way he combines universes together is have eternity and the physical embodiment of the DC universe just have sex with each other. That was funny.
Yeah, just like in JLA Avengers. He brought it back. And, I was going to say, I like this main story more than the first, but I like the first backups more than these.
Yeah, I would say so too.
That's how I felt. The main story for this was so good. It was so fucking good.
It was fun. It was interesting of how, like, it was really fun. It was very meta because it was just in terms of like how, how Cassandra Nova was like, was the antagonist of the book, but also how I feel like did Grant Morrison put himself in the book as like the writer controlling everything?
Yeah, at the end of Animal Man, that's the final villain of his Animal Man run is himself, because he has been the whole joke was like he's been causing Buddy the most pain by rewriting reality, so he goes through all these shitty situations, and Buddy's like, "Why the fuck are you hurting me so much?" And Grant Morrison's like, he's in universe as the writer, and he's like, I have to write. I'm the writer. I have to write. And so him and Animal Man fight, and then the writer character gets used again in one of the early Suicide Squad stories. I think it was during you know what's funny? I think it was a War of the Amazons tie-in, and the writer gets used during that, and then he dies in that, and then in this book, that's where the story takes place, is where the writer died in that Suicide Squad tie-in, and it's because Deadpool and Batman are both looking for his like cosmic typewriter that rewrites reality.
Yeah,
but it's definitely a very Grant Morrison book, and it's a very fun version of a Grant Morrison like crossover book where it's like.
I'm not gonna like spoil it too much, but in the main story, there's a moment involving a Lazarus pit as an homage.
No, we can spoil it. Like, if you haven't read Batman vs. Deadpool yet, are you serious? You know what I mean? Like it's like that's like if you're not reading the biggest crossover Marvel and DC have done in 10 years, you're not gonna read it after this. You know, like,
that's true. Nah, so there's
the moment that Dan Moore fucking Darkclaw design,
dude. The moment they put Batman in the Lazarus Pit, he comes in as Darkclaw. I lost my fucking mind. I was like, this is crazy.
My god! And it was that Dan Moore design looked fucking insane. That looked better than Man. Dude, I thought Man looked sick, and then he came out with Darkclaw, and then I loved the Dead Bat was funny.
Dead Bat was funny as fuck. Yeah, no, but yeah, man, Batman Deadpool was good, and I didn't really read all of the backups. The only backup I really paid interest to was the Nightwing Laura Kinney Wolverine one with Bruno Redondo on the art.
I like the Constantine Doctor Strange one a lot.
After I read that one too, that one was also great.
The Nightwing Laura one was fine. The Hulk Harley one was fine. The Kamala Static crossover was disappointing.
I didn't read that one because I was apprehensive by it, because I was like, I don't want this to be bad. So I don't want to be disappointed by this, so I didn't read it.
It was worse than bad.
I didn't even know it happened.
It was nothing. It was so nothing. It was such a nothing. Like, I appreciate the sentiment behind it, but it really was just like pure nothing. I was kind of butthurt because I felt that it was a missed opportunity to have Miles and Static cross over with each other, because that made the most sense. But yeah. But overall, I thought this issue was good. I thought it was good. And yeah. And now more to Superman. It's so funny that this is Grant Morrison's last Batman book.
Yeah,
and it was great. It was so good. It was probably if this was my last Batman story, I would be completely fine with it, because it totally used Batman in such an interesting way that fits with, you know what I mean, like throwing in Damian and throwing in all the characters Grant Morrison's created. I was like, damn, if this is like Grant Morrison's final story, it would be so solid. It would be so good.
And this is their first time writing Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
I thought the Deadpool was great.
Deadpool was great. Deadpool fourth wall breaking reference, so he can reference another fourth wall break with the Animal Man.
That was hilarious.
I can see you clip, and you're like, oh my god, that's good. And then and the fourth, and looking at the third wall and seeing all the fourth wall breaking characters signed it and everything, and I was like, oh, that's a good bit. And then like joking about Grant Morrison running out of ideas, which leads to the Dead Bat amalgam character, which is hilarious. I like seeing old Cassandra Nova. You know what I mean? He just shrivels up and you're like, yeah, that's her. And then Damian being in there was sick. I loved it. It was so fun.
It was fun.
It was definitely Grant Morrison having a lot of fun with it, and I'm glad we got these, because these were
And I wanted to just to move on real quick. I wanted to address Night Fight, because I started reading Night Fight, which is the spin-off tie-in for DCKO, where Batman, spoiler for DCKO, he quote unquote died, but in reality he didn't. He as a failsafe, he put himself he put a failsafe, so he got teleported into the main dimension, but he goes off course to where he is in different universes where his sons, so Damian, Jason, Dick, and Tim Drake are versions of Batman that he has to fight against. And I only read the first issue, no issue 2 came out today as well. Issue 1 I thought was awesome. And seeing how Dick Grayson would be as a Batman was really fun to see. Because you didn't like it?
I thought it was fine. I thought it would be cool in concept, and then the idea, it's like, well, it's not actually Dick Grayson as Batman. It's like this version of Dick Grayson, but like it's also not like regular Batman. You know what I mean? Like it's like this Batman, it was like Dark Knight Returns Batman, where he trained a bunch of dudes as soldiers and whatever. And you're like, okay, so the premise is inherently like, I'm already disappointed by the premise, because I was promised like Batman talking to Dick, who is Batman. You know what I mean? And that being interesting and making it more of a timeline thing. but they're making it straight up more of an alternate universe thing. And then like in the second issue when they introduce Jason Todd Batman, and he's like Jason Todd Batman's like the leader of Arkham. He's like the head doctor there, and like Batman is a patient at Arkham because Batman went crazy and like killed people or whatever. And you're like, what the fuck am I looking at, man? Like, what do we? You just said Jason Todd was gonna be Batman, and I was like, cool, future version of Jason that decides to be Batman. What does that look like? No, it's like all this other shit that it's like, okay, so what are we really doing here if we're not gonna get any cool character stuff that's like actually there? You know what I mean? It's like all alternate universe, like, you know.
Well, it feels White Knight-esque, where they're just setting up kind of like
and White Knight's cool because
universe.
Yeah, like White Knight's cool because I know that's what I'm getting and I'm interested in that. But like when this was the promise of like, yo, he's fighting his sons, and then you find out it's not actually his sons.
It's not actually his sons. Yeah, it's just alternate versions of his sons.
It's like super alternate version of his sons that aren't even from the same universe and don't even have the same origin. You're like, okay, so at that point, it's just a guy who looks like his sons. You know what I mean? Like, well, I don't. It's not badly written. The art's definitely not bad. Dan Moore's doing his best, but it definitely is one of those books where it's like, well, why are we even doing this? Like, were you just that scared of not having Batman be involved in this event at all that you had to do something? Like, what? It's so obvious, and that's why it's so depressing because it's like Joshua Williamson isn't doing a bad job. It's just this book has no reason to exist, and you can really tell because Williamson's just kind of like, what about this? And you're like, sure.
Well, what about it?
Exactly.
You want to tell me more, Dan, or do we just want to hop around a little bit? Because we're already through one of them, and I can't even remember like what Dick Batman was like. Like, I'm just gonna go read Batman in the Black Mirror, or go read Batman and Robin. Like,
all right, we'll move on to the next set of comics, and now we're gonna go to the most anticipated ones because like we were talking about this off camera before we started. Seamus while rating for Row, but so Absolute Batman, right quick, and we're gonna do two books because like there's one that we have talked about that came out a while over a little bit like a month ago, but and in the new issue, but Absolute Batman Annual, incredible. I think this might be my favorite. This might be like my favorite one shot of the year. I love it, and just to show you how much I loved it, let me go put full screen real quick. I got my copy of it. I got my copy. Shout out to Midtown Comics, who for some reason somehow were still selling copies of this just because they had so many. But yeah, man, I love reading this physically. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, man. This annual was fantastic. I mean, we're huge D-Dub fans up in here. He killed this. Love that fact that it was just literally just hit. It was absolute Batman versus white supremacists. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And how that ties into his morality and his mission due to his to the flashback with his father with him as a child. I love it a lot.
I thought it was super interesting the way that Philip Kennedy Johnson really nailed the feeling of like having to take drastic measures to fight back against like oppressive forces. You know what I mean? Like he perfectly portrays Batman's brutality, and he's not saying that Batman is wrong for being that brutal, but he is saying that being that brutal to anyone is going to have a mental toll and an effect on a person because like that kind of brutality is unnatural. And even though he's doing it in defense, he's still like, that's still going to affect a good person. You know what I mean? And I'm like, that's really like probably the most interesting problem posed to Batman in like years. You know what I mean? Like that's probably the most, because I think that's what makes this one of the more interesting Batman issues of like the last like 20 years at this point. You know what I mean? Is that you're kind of saying that Batman's in the right for like brutally fucking up all of these races, but you're also saying that Batman being a person is still deeply affected by having to fuck up all these races violently. You know what I mean? I think it's just drawing a line between those people who are like freely so deeply into violence that they would feel nothing at causing all of this harm to anyone, and the people who are like, I will defend myself and cause this amount of harm to a person, but it's still going to affect me because this isn't the way the world should be,
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's why it's so interesting.
One of the biggest things about that, just to follow up, what I took away from it is that, even though Batman knows that violence is necessary to fight essentially evil represented with these white supremacists, but like violence also will also take a toll on somebody's soul, So like I love how also has it has violence, excessive violence will have a cost. So I love how D-Dubs explored that with this a lot. Ro, what do you think of the annual? Then we'll move on to the new issue.
Yeah, I'm really glad that they put him on this issue because like his style really melds really well with Absolute Batman. Like, he's always drawn some like super veiny, bulging muscles. So, getting him in that area was perfect.
Yeah, him seeing Batman suplex a fucking white supremacist, do a pile driver on a fucking white supremacist was amazing.
Dude, he was hitting Phil Kennedy Johnson was like having him do Kenny Omega V triggers. He was throwing out like fucking like one wing angels, and he was throwing out like ankle locks and shit. And you were like, this dude entirely choreographs around what AEW matches were on this weekend. You know what I mean? Like, that's gonna be in the comic 6 months later.
And that full page spread of Batman being like, "This is my way," while he's like covered in rain and shadow, is like my favorite page of like I've ever seen like all year. Like, this is incredible.
It's always an Absolute Batman page.
Bro, it was dope. All right, so Absolute Batman number 15, which is the origin story of Absolute Joker, which is written by Scott Snyder with art by Jock this time, which I thought worked very well because I'm a huge Jock fan. So, dude, again, I don't want to spoil it for anybody because it literally just came out, but like I think Scott Snyder pulled like what Scott Snyder took a concept that he introduced in his New 52 Batman run and just expanded upon it with this Joker origin. I loved it. I loved it. Where you're talking about like the man who laughs, like the pale man who laughs, like in New 52. How the idea of like, is the Joker like maybe an immortal being, quote unquote? Like, so I like how he kind of like takes that concept that he introduced in that run of his Batman run in his early New 52 Batman run and put it into and spin it into this version of Absolute Batman. I loved it. I thought it was really good. Yeah. And the fact that it was narrated by Alfred telling this to Bruce, I thought was really dope. And Jock,
I love, dude, Jock's art in this fucking issue. I fucking love Jock so much. Good, like, he made it look so crazy. And like I was telling you off camera, I was like, this is a quintessential Scott Snyder issue. The way that it's almost entirely a history lesson. But every time he does this shit, I'm like, I love it. Because I fucking love it when it's like Scott Snyder telling an ominous history lesson about someone that we don't quite know. It's like, yeah, I'm there for it. Give me it. You loved it with the Court of Owls. You're going to love it here.
Mm-hmm.
But
bro,
yeah, in the way that he
I'm not there
tells,
yet. Nope.
Okay. Fair enough.
The way that
Keep going.
He tells the story of the Joker in like those like almost 3 different ways. Where
Dude, that
like,
was crazy.
Yeah, where it's like what Alfred, what the general history is, what Alfred has been told the history is, and then what Alfred really thinks the history is, and then it keeps getting darker every time he retells it, and you're like, oh my god! And like as soon as the fetus chair showed up again, and the Nazis started showing up, and Joker was like fucking doing like the most dangerous game against that dude. He was just reenacting the fucking
yeah, bro.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
It was wild, but yeah, overall, it was a great issue. And the way he parallels main universe Batman is very interesting to me. Like the fact that they're doing that route with the Joker, making him the billionaire. I think it's very interesting. But yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, bro, you're not there yet. You haven't caught up with it. You know, because it just came out. So,
no, I'm catching up on the DC app because I haven't been to my comic book store in a little bit now.
Oh, that's fair.
But Absolute Batman's been my top reading story so far.
Fair enough.
And actually, I do have to take my leave here because it's getting late. But I'll throw in what I did read.
Let me full screen you.
Static.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, that was next, bro. That was next.
See, exactly.
So if you want to say your piece right now, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, you know, it's really nice to jump back into the Batman Beyond universe. I definitely think it's one of the most like meticulously added to of the DC AU or EU, I forget what it is at this point. But it was really nice. I really did like flipping through there and seeing Nicholas's work again. And it's like putting him on a Batman Beyond book was like a match made in heaven.
Bro, as lore for the channel, I've said it multiple times, Nicholas River RV is my god. I love this man's art to death.
Literally.
And also, if you're gonna show off, bro, I'm gonna show off too, because you got the regular cover. I had to get this one.
There we go. Hey, perfect.
Well, it's by Raza. Sexy cover. I was, again, shout out to Midtown Comics. Again, I was shocked they had this. I thought it was gonna be sold out immediately, but I got it. Yeah, bro. I'm a huge Static fan. Static's one of my favorite characters of all time. I'm a huge Batman Beyond fan. Because that's one of my favorite anime. That's my favorite animated series for Batman. Is Batman Beyond. And seeing these worlds cross together because they crossed together in the DCAU in the past. So seeing now Nicholas doing his own interpretation along with Evan Narcisse. Shout out to Evan Narcisse because he's also a great writer. I was digging it, bro. I was digging it. The fact that they're kind of implying that there may be a second Big Bang happening in Neo Gotham as like the jumping off point. I'm like, ooh, let's see what
a little connector. Scott Snyder on Twitter said Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker is his favorite or top 5 Batman movie. So there we go.
That's fair. I love it. That's fair. So
yeah, right.
But yeah, bro, you gotta bounce. So listen, appreciate you.
Yeah, literally, I'm gonna take my leave. I'm gonna show you what I was working on before I'm out of here.
Oh yeah, what are you doing? Yeah, I want to see that.
Oh,
let's go.
A little explosion at the end.
Young Daniel Warren Johnson over here, bro. I love it.
Yeah, hopefully, hopefully.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for including me in this. Again, y'all always inspire me to read, and I gotta catch up on my reading list.
Yeah, bro, we're gonna go through the rest of it. But yeah, sorry that we had to start a little bit later, but you know, we appreciate you.
Sorry, I took a little bit to get in.
Inspiring us to
I gotta start early.
We're inspiring you to be literate. It's a two-way street, you know.
Exactly. Yo,
right,
handle
bro.
your business. I believe in you. Thank you.
No, I appreciate it, bro. Have a good night.
Take it easy,
bro. Peace.
You too.
But Seamus, have you read Batman Static Beyond yet or no?
Nah, not yet.
Read that.
I'm gonna wait till it's all out and then I'm gonna read it.
Oh, you're gonna wait till it's collected? Okay, that's fair. But yeah, man, as a Static and Batman Beyond fan, bro, I'm eating right now. This is great.
Is it? I don't know. Is it? It's Terry, right? It's not Tim.
It's Terry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Terry. It's Terry. And also like, because again, I don't know what they're doing with Milestone right now, but like they seem to be, ever since they what was it, the new history of the DC universe, they're trying to join the worlds together again. I'm just like, guys, like, we just have it separate for like a little while longer. But yeah, they're combining the worlds together. Like Icon is in this.
I don't care. It can be separate, and they can just not meet. Because you know what's crazy? I liked it when they were together, and they made it work in Young Justice, and it was cool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I feel like it works better in animated form than it does in comic book form. Like I feel like in comic book form, it's better to be separate and then just have crossovers here and there. Yeah, and stuff like this, where where it's like an Elseworld, that's fine. But like, yeah, I think
it is just because for it to work, you kind of need to do a little more serialized storytelling where you're able to get interactions with the characters that slowly build up, because like, you know, it works on Young Justice because Rocket does get time to be like a person, you know what I mean? And then you slowly get, and then it's like, then the differences between her and the world that she hangs out in and everyone else has become a little more clear. But you're like, in comics they're kind of just like they're just kind of constantly doing this is like, oh, big crossover with Static's on Teen Titans, and you're like, okay, but what does that mean? And they're like, that means Static's gonna fight fucking Joker, and you're like, all right, that's boring, I'm out.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I'm digging this. Again, I'm very curious to see what they do with the rest of the series. When they do the way they see like we're like the static status as a hero, and how he's kind of like in a way a mentor for Terry in a way, a pseudo mentor for him. I think it's dope, and I'm very looking forward to see where this goes. What's the next? So the next set of books, absolute territory, absolute Wonder Woman and absolute Superman. Absolute Wonder Woman, this issue was dope. It was her pretty much fighting her opposite, and that was a lot of fun. And then also kind of like the official like appearance of Absolute Zatanna, which that was really dope. And Absolute Superman was also great. I think I sent you over the weekend when I was reading it, the page where they pretty much do their version of like the quote unquote Fortress of Solitude. I thought that was amazing.
I thought that was good. I don't know what it is about this book that's not reaching for me. You know what I mean?
Really? I'm digging it, bro.
No, it's not. You're already. I'm gonna beat you up. You're already misunderstanding me. It's good. I'm enjoying it, but I'm saying I don't know what it is that isn't there that's not making it hit there. You know what I mean? And I think maybe it's just more that the other Absolute books are all kind of popping off, and that this one is still the one that feels like it's still kind of in its introductory arc. You know what I mean? Like the other ones have kind of gotten there to a point where it's like now we're in the midst of the main story, whereas this kind of still feels like it's like, okay, what's like Superman's not really there yet. You know what I mean? It still doesn't feel like Superman's Superman, and I understand that that's the entire crux of this part of the story is like Superman's so unsure of himself. You know what I mean? And he wants to be Superman, but so many forces outside of him are trying to push him to be something different and something darker, and he's trying to resist that. And that part for me is super, super interesting. I just think that everything else, like the stuff with Lois and Jimmy and the Omega Men and Ra's al Ghul and Talia and all that stuff, I feel like it's so uninteresting that it's actively hurting the really cool part, which is literally like Brainiac trying to force Superman to live over and over again to turn evil, and Superman like resisting that, but also like in his head he really wants to turn evil. You know what I mean? In his head he really does want to be that because it's so much easier, but he's actively trying to constantly resist it and try to be better. And you're like, that's so interesting. But
he has that darkness to him, because there are times in the book, especially in the recent issues, where he's like, I just want to murder these motherfuckers for like doing harm to people.
Yeah, and it's like that's a cool Absolute Superman take. Is like, no, this Superman is not infallible. In fact, he really does want to take the easy way out a lot because he's been through a lot, but also he knows that that's wrong. And even though he has those thoughts, he's not acting on them because he knows that that's wrong, and he's trying to do the right thing. And you're like, oh, that's so cool. I just wish that like Ra's al Ghul is a more interesting villain. I wish it was instead that Brainiac, and Brainiac like took over Ra's al Ghul, and it was Brainiac. You know what I mean? Because that's far more interesting than like this weird like very underdeveloped Ra's al Ghul, because I feel like also all the other villains for the Absolute books have gotten really good development, but I feel like Ra's al Ghul has been so pushed off to the side that it's like I don't really know anything about him as much as I know with all the other supervillain quirks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. We don't really know much about this version, and like honestly, the only thing I'm not really digging with Ra's al Ghul is the fact that he feels more like and looks more like Vandal Savage than Ra's al Ghul. You know?
Yeah, that too is like. I understand you were trying to go for a different take with Ra's al Ghul, but I think they did accidentally slip and accidentally remade Vandal Savage. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, he's immortal, and he's also like super old, and he's kind of Viking-esque, but he looks like he's really nondescript. And oh no, we made Vandal Savage again. Oh shit, we should have just used Vandal Savage instead of Ra's al Ghul. You know, and yeah, it's just very odd. I mean, the only reason you'd want to use Ra's is if you were gonna have Batman and Talia get together, and then we get Absolute Damien.
Yeah, which is wild. I kind of don't want to see that. But.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just so weird how we gotta set up for absolute Lex Luthor. That was super interesting, and I don't know when I'm gonna see that again.
Yeah, they haven't followed up on it yet.
Like maybe that should have been in Superman instead of, because I understand trying to do, my big different take is Superman's actually fighting Ra's al Ghul, but like that's not being used in any interesting way because it's a different Ra's al Ghul who's very nondescript and he's very cookie cutter, and you're like, okay, this isn't as compelling because like the fucking him fighting Peacemaker and the Peacemaker core in this is more interesting than when he fights Ra's al Ghul, you know? Like Chris Smith constantly being at odds with his programming, but also still being fully pushed into doing more and doing worse and getting worse. And you're like, oh shit. And then he's slowly starting to turn into Metallo. And you're like,
yeah,
that's so interesting. But that's also like so secondary to like Ra's al Ghul shit. And that stupid twist where it's like, no, Talia actually owns both sides. And it was really undercooked and it made it seem like you know, people who resist are also being paid off by governments, and you're like, ooh, I don't know about that, man. Like, yeah, it's just a weird book right now. It's not bad, but it definitely, I think that the bottom for my absolute books. I don't know how you feel. I think you like it a little more than me.
I do know, yeah, because like I'm not as big of a Superman fan as you are, and I think like I'm liking it a lot better than I mean, but granted, like my love for Superman has like rekindled ever since the movie came out this year. But like, but I just dig it, and I do like the fact, like this is Superman that like he acknowledges his like he acknowledges that he's fallible, he acknowledges that he has flaws, he acknowledges that he has a dark side that he wants to give into, but then he has to pull himself away because he knows that's wrong. I love that. I'm loving the stuff they're doing with like with his parents, with him. I like his relationship with Soul a lot.
That's super interesting. AI. Like him having an AI that's like not his parents and is like its own thing is super interesting. And I think that's why this book confounds me so much, because there's so much in it that I like, and there's so many ideas and interesting takes in it that I like, but it just never comes together. And I do think that reason is because Ra's al Ghul is just so far not developed enough to be a compelling villain. And like, it's like I'm constantly going like, can I watch him fight Brainiac or have like an interesting thing with Brainiac? And then that one issue where he did it was the best issue, you know? And then now we're stuck back with like Ra's al Ghul wanting to make Superman into a son. Like he's like, you're going to be my kid. You're like, where's this coming from? If you maybe did some more development with Ra's, then I would have understood it. But this kind of just doesn't really make any sense. He's just like, you're a big strong man, and you should be my kid. And you're like, what?
But I thought the best part about the last issue was they ended with Brainiac hacking into Soul, destroying him, and taking control of him. I thought,
that's interesting. Great. It's almost like Brainiac should just be the villain. Like, what are we doing? You know, or at least develop Ra's some more, so that way him with Brainiac sounds sick.
But real quick, what are your thoughts on Absolute Wonder Woman? And we'll move on to the next set of books.
It still is like tied with the best Absolute book. It's still so good. This mini arc with the cost of magic and all that shit, and then and seeing Absolute Zatanna like totally try to kiss her, I was like, this is real. This is real comic shit, Mikey. Yeah, this is what I'm here for.
Again, Kelly Thompson, I know you're watching this. We're gonna get you on a fucking show. I do not care how
we're getting you on a show, and we're gonna talk about how quickly we can get Zatanna and Diana to kiss right now. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about the path to peace we need to do. Fuck the Batman crossover. Fuck any of that. Okay?
Yeah, we don't need that.
I need my girls to kiss, damn it.
Yeah, we need this ship to happen ASAP. All right, yeah, no, same here. Like I'm loving it. It's my favorite Absolute book. I'm very curious to where it goes.
It's damn, man. Like this is it's very the quality has not dropped. It's still interesting. The end of that Labyrinth arc was super interesting, and I know people were talking about, they were like, they're revealing the Themyscirans too early, and I'm like, but they're not really revealing them because we knew they were still alive. We just knew that they were locked in like a prison. So like revealing that they're all still there, it's like, yeah, no, we knew that. We're just seeing them for the first time, and Diana's finding out for the first time that they still do exist. and you're like, yeah, no, you really didn't think the Themyscirians were gonna come back at all, like really? But yeah, I thought that was fine because in that end of that arc was super interesting. And then, like I said, this arc where it's like dealing with Diana, having to deal with the fact that magic has a cost, and also dealing with her instincts has a cost, because her having to deal with constantly being in fight or flight mode, and the magical entity representing that by fucking with her fight or flight mode. So she's constantly in like fight, you know what I mean? She's constantly reaching for her sword, and she's like, holy shit, this isn't like me. I've really been stressed out lately because of all the shit going on. I need to take like a beat and consider my actions, because I was never a person to reach for my sword immediately. Like, that's crazy. And I'm like, oh, that's super interesting. Wow. And then the way they resolve it with, like, you know, Zatanna doing her hex magic on her, and Diana finally beating the magic monster, and then at the end we get that tease.
Yeah.
And
I loved how, in order for her to get rid of her opposite, she had to go to Gaia to do it. I was like, that's awesome.
That was cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Going to Gaia and shit, and then we get that tease at the end of a what was it? Was it Cersei symbol in like Gotham City?
Yep. No, it was Hecate. Like, it was Hecate symbol in Gotham City.
Symbol? Yeah.
Where it's like, oh,
oh shit, man. That's this month, man. That's in like 2 or 3 weeks.
But overall, I love Absolute Wonder Woman. Yeah, like this, it never fails, bro.
It's tied with Absolute Martian Manhunter for best Absolute book, I think.
But move on to 2 other Absolute books: Absolute Flash and Absolute Green Lantern. Just real quick, what?
I was gonna say these 2 books, real quick. I want to talk about these 2 books together, real quick. I'm so glad these 2 books have popped off. Like, they finally started to get the ball rolling, and I'm like, oh yeah, like this is.
I love Absolute Flash, bro. I think Absolute Flash is like my third. It's my second or third.
I was gonna say I think it's like 4th for me, but it's gotten, Jeff Lemire is cooking a little bit, and I'm very interested in all this. This cool, like, kind of pseudo, you know what it feels a lot like for me is, it feels a lot like, and this is no negative, I know I'm referencing a Mark Millar book, but this feels a lot like Ultimate Fantastic Four. This feels a lot like Ultimate Fantastic Four, and I like that vibe a lot, because I really did like the setup for that book, and the very government-sponsored dimension fuckery. Like, that's what it is, you know what I mean? And I think it's super interesting where it's going, because you kind of know. I mean, did you see the picture? Did you see that? The Reverse Flash reveal.
Oh yeah, that came out a while ago. Yeah,
dude, are all of the Absolute villains just like freakish? They're all like, it's like they just like. The Absolute universe is like, oops, all abominations. You know what I mean? Like, it's literally just every villain's now abomination, and you're like, cool. Like,
and so I'm curious to see how that goes. But when that comes out, but I agree. Yeah, Ultimate Fantastic Four, like, the setup fits this book a lot. I didn't even think of that. But I'm loving Wally's like teaming up with the Rogues, and how he's hesitant to even do so, and.
And the fact
that he's seeing something, like, which I think is clearly buried. Like,
oh no, Barry's 100% stuck. It's literally 90s Flash. Barry's stuck in the Speed Force still. He's trying to reach out, but he can't. You know what I mean? He's fighting Reverse Flash. The Rogues are kind of teaming up with him, but they're still villains. And but it's all done in a different way, where that, like, Wally's so much younger, and he's so alone because there's literally no one else. You know what I mean? And that isolation's really fucking with him, because he doesn't know what's going on, and he doesn't know who he can trust. And he doesn't really have anyone to turn towards except for Grodd, because Grodd's like the only thing that he really has a connection to.
And I love Grodd. Grodd's
been cool. I really do like giving Flash like Grodd as a little monkey companion, which was funny. I will say the Flash suit has grown on me. It's grown on me every issue. I'm like, okay, all right.
It's like when Nick Robles draws it, like it looks great. Like I think so.
And I like all the rogues designs. I'm interested in seeing how the Fawn family works because I do know like that Eobard's probably that big fucking freakish thing that we saw, which is interesting how he got that, and then how Barry was working with what's her name? Fawn's granddaughter.
Yeah.
And they have like a relationship. And you're like, oh my god, Barry's fucking Reverse Flash? What's going on?
Yeah, so like I thought the reveal where Eleanor said she planned all this out. She wanted Wally and Barry to interact so that the accident could take place, and that like Wally is the key to like opening. I forget what they call it in this, but opening like essentially like the Speed Force. Actually, come to think of it, wouldn't it be kind of wild if the Reverse Flash wasn't Eobard Thawne? If it was like Jay Garrick, because didn't Eobard back in like the 40s throw Jay Garrick into this like reactor or whatever?
I thought him and Jay got sucked in.
Yeah.
Let me see this. That would be crazy. I don't know how I feel about that. Just because they're already in that bit, they did kind of set up Eobard as crazy mad scientist man. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So it would be kind of disappointing that like now the villain is like regular soldier Jay Garrick, who is like, yo dude, please knock it off. You're fucking everything up. Don't do that, man, please. But
and real quick, Absolute Green Lantern. I know like right now because it's kind of like I've been liking the arc that they're going with recently. The past like 2 issues.
Joe is messy.
I know, very messy.
I love this shit. I love how messy this woman is. Like, dude, that whole issue of just like these two, she was cheating on everyone, and I was like, whoa, what? Yeah, wow. We're back. This is what comics are about, Mikey.
Yeah, I did like the fact that it's just her trying to like reconcile and and kind of like reconcile her relationship with her ex-wife, which I think is very interesting. The ring, the fact that like I thought it was interesting that like what we saw in the previous issues that Abenstor's energy got put into the ring, and when she takes it off, she's fine. But like if someone, but the ring's full potential only works for her. But like her ex-wife could wear it and like use it to like a very small like fraction of its power, but only Joe has access to the full power of the Green Lantern. I think it's really interesting, and also like this now that she's out of Evergreen now, and her and Hal, like Hector Hammond in them are kind of Hector is trying to like get a hold, try to capture him.
Yeah,
it's really cool. Like the gold face or whatever coming through at the end.
Dude, they made like the most like forgettable DC villain look maybe the coolest I've ever seen a DC villain ever look. When that reveal at the end of the last issue, and it was Goldface, and I was like, oh my god, like because I've only seen Goldface actually show up in a comic maybe 3 times.
I've heard of Goldface, never really seen him. So.
Yeah, dude, you do remember him because he's in one episode of like the Justice League Unlimited, and Lex Luthor just instantly melts his face off and kills him.
That's crazy.
And he's so obscure, but I was like, oh my god, they're using Al Ewing knows ball so hard that he's using Goldface and shit. And then what else? We're like fucking Mogo and like Sinestro are Black Lanterns, and Sinestro has that crazy robot arm and shit. Yeah. And Tomar Ray's a Red Lantern who's like he can see people and shit through the lantern powers or whatever. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck's going on?
What is happening? Yeah, they throw a lot at you, but
Kilowatt got killed too.
And he did, and I was like, damn.
I was like, they killed my boy. What are they doing?
Yeah, man.
But yeah, I'm interested. They definitely, this book stepped up as soon as it left Evergreen. I was like, oh, okay, hold on now. Now we're getting somewhere.
For sure, bro. Yeah, overall, both these books, I'm digging a lot.
Yeah.
But real quick, bro, because you're reading Absolute Martian Manhunter, so what do you want to give your quick thoughts before we move on to Marvel stuff?
Oh well, yeah, I'll talk about that last. I don't know if I talked about that last issue yet, but if I did, go watch it. If I didn't, then here it is. That final issue before the hiatus was fucking nutty. The fight between the White Martian and the Green Martian was, and they were fighting with concepts and like different abstract forms of like ideas, and fighting using those, where like they would be countering, like the White Martian would throw out some crazy shit like mentally too. It was like all this mental projection stuff where like the White Martian would like conjure like the feeling of finding out that your mother's going into hospice care, and then like the Green Martian would counter that with like a sunny walk with your childhood pet, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it would like, they were fighting with like ideas of like light versus dark and shit like that, and like it was getting so crazy where like, you know, it was like chess using concepts. It was so crazy. And then that end reveal that like John's kid is actually the conduit for the White Martian. So his kid is actually like the main White Martian, whereas he's with the Green Martian and shit. I was like, oh my god, that's gonna be so fucking heart-wrentching when that fucking fight has to happen. But yeah, it comes back this month. I think it's coming back either at the end of this month or beginning of next month, and I'm really excited to see what the next 6 issues have. I heard it's been selling very well, so hopefully this means that it gets extended again past 12 issues.
I didn't even know it was on hiatus. I didn't even know it was on hiatus.
Yeah, it stopped in August because they didn't. Denise Camp didn't want to fill an artist because he was like, "Yo,
Javier Rodriguez is the GOAT."
Does it look like Javier Rodriguez should have a fill-in artist, or does it look like we should take 6 months to be able to have Javier Rodriguez on this whole book? So yeah, that's why I have big respect for that. Yeah, like I said, it's stopped in like August. I think it's coming back near Christmas this month. But yeah, I'm excited for it to come back. I hope it sells well so we get more of this shit, because it got extended from 6 issues to 12, and now if it sells well again, it could get extended again, maybe.
Okay, we'll see. Well, let's hope. All right, so now we're gonna move on to the Marvel stuff, and it's like the last of the comics that we got. But yeah, off rip, I gotta put on one book, 2 books on here, 1 book.
Wait. Can I run through real quick DC books you missed or didn't talk about?
Yeah, just no, that's fine. Just listen.
I was gonna say, New Gods ended. Everyone, please go read New Gods by Ron V. Mr. Miracle escaped a black hole and nullified a black hole, and Darkseid was sitting on his throne going, "Holy shit! I can't believe that's my kid. He's so strong." And I was like, "Oh my god, this book's great." Justice Society, kind of pop it off.
I gotta read that.
It was very interesting. I've been liking it. It's been very polarizing a little bit with people who have read it, but I like it. Birds of Prey ending this month. Everyone get your rereads in.
Yeah, please read it.
Ending at issue 28. Kelly Thompson is working on Absolute Wonder Woman, so go support that too. But Birds of Prey was really, really good, and I'm glad we at least got more than 20 issues out of it. But also kind of sad it's ending at 28.
Yeah, I dropped off of it, but I was on like issue like 25, and I'm just gonna wait till I was waiting till it was over so I could read the rest. So
yeah, DCKO issue 2 came out. I don't know. Did we talk about that one last time, or did we talk about that one this time? I don't really know.
We talked about issue 1 last time. I didn't read issue 2 yet.
DCKO issue 2 came out, and they gave Superman the Omega Sanction. So
wow,
I think he wins the whole thing. Because when you give the Joker the Adam's belt, that people are gonna go sleep. But then when because Superman. Oh my god, it was so cool. It was literally like they did it Scott Snyder did it in the most video game stupid way possible, and I loved it. Where it was like the Omega Sanction was like a secret item you could get, and you could only get it if you make yourself like Darkseid. So you do the thing that Darkseid did in the All In issue 1, where he cut off his hand and had he was stabbed in the chest and everything. So Superman gets stabbed in the chest, And then he's like, wait a minute, like the whole conceit of this is who's going to be the most like Darkseid. So what if I just cut off my hand and that makes me the most like Darkseid? And when he does that, he gets the Omega Sanction beams and just wins. And you're like,
that's crazy.
Oh my God. DCKO Wonder Woman vs. Lobo, the first issue of round 3 came out.
How was that?
And that was fun. That was fun. Again, it's really just a big Lep Shido fight, but it's really fucking fun because it's the art's so good. The art's so fucking good. I was like, oh my God. It's by Joel Jones and Jason Howard, Carrie Nord, and Daniel Bayless.
Oh, Jason Howard, like Astounding Wolfman, Jason Howard?
Yup.
Jason
Howard does the first 20 pages, and then the art switches as they switch fights. Because there's 3 rounds in all these singles fights, and the first round's a regular round. The second round, they come back as any character, any version of their character in history, and then the third round is a miscellaneous round where it's like a random question round. So the first, the Lobo and Wonder Woman fight in the first round in a pro wrestling ring, and they're just like beating chunks out of each other, and then Lobo wins the first round, and then round 2, Wonder Woman comes back as when she was Queen of Themyscira and like Queen Wonder Woman, and Lobo comes back as New 52 New Lobo, like skinny Lobo.
Oh my God!
And I was like, oh my God, that's so fucking stupid. Yeah, and so Wonder Woman gets to fight with Yara Flor and like Wonder Girl and everything. Against, because she's like, well, I'm Queen Wonder Woman. This is the most powerful version of my character because I have all of my people under me, you know. So it's literally just all of Wonder Woman's other, you know, Wonder people like just beating the shit out of New Lobo.
That's crazy.
And
I
then
gotta read that.
And it ends with Wonder Woman stealing Lobo's like motorcycle and just driving it into him and winning. And then the round 3 is a miscellaneous round where Lobo chooses it to be a bunch of miscellaneous stuff like chess boxing, one of those like slap matches, a shin kicking contest.
That's ridiculous.
A card jutsu invitational.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then at the end, I think this is the setup for that Lobo book that's coming out. At the end, Lobo's like fighting with Wonder Woman, and Lobo's like, I got you, like I'm the toughest bastard in the fragging universe because I made a deal with the Almighty so I can't die. And so then he starts like talking shit to Wonder Woman, and he uses the Almighty's name in vain. So the Almighty takes away Lobo's immortality.
That's hilarious.
and Wonder Woman wins because Lobo just instantly becomes mortal.
That's hilarious.
And then the issue ends with this tease of Booster Gold using the Omega Sanction and killing the World Forger. So the World Forger is dead, and Booster Gold is Darkseid is inhabiting Booster Gold, and the World Forger is like, well, you're inhabiting like the wrong host because Booster Gold is so pure of heart, like he's literally like fighting against you. That's why you're so weak right now. And then that's when Booster Gold's like, eh. But crazy issue that had a bunch of shit that it was like important to the rest of DCKO, which I don't like, but like cool.
All right.
And I think that's it for DC books that we missed. But
all right, okay, word. All right, so yeah, back to Marvel now. So yeah, first set of books is the Undead Iron Fist number 3, and then Moon Knight number 4. Moon Knight Fist of Conscience number 14. Moon Knight Fist of Conscience was great. It's always great. I have nothing really else to say about it. It's just great.
I was gonna say, when is it not great? Because I think we've been saying it's been great. I think we're on like year 4.
Yeah, we're on like the 4th or 3rd year.
Like year 3 or 4 of us going like, damn, this book really rips. Can it go forever? And it's going forever right now, and I'm enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. So I got nothing to say on that. I mean, it's pretty much a Scarlet Scarab Moon Knight team up book. We get introduced to a new villain called like the Encounter, or the Encanner. Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, it's dope. I loved it. Under the Iron Fist was awesome. Oh my god, dude! After the Daredevil issue, bro. In issue 3, he fights against Quan Yaozu's possessed immortal weapons. So he's literally fighting possessed versions of Fat Cobra, Bright Spiders, Dogber #1, and Prince of Orphans, and it's awesome, dude. And we get a reveal of who brought him back to life. And I thought that was awesome. That was a great reveal.
It was interesting. I'm liking this any little Danny crumbs. I'll eat the fuck up, especially if they're Immortal Weapon Iron Fist themed Danny crumbs. I eat up.
Mm-hmm. But I got nothing else to say. Like I thought Moon Knight Physical Truths has always been solid. It's always been great. And then this issue on an Iron Fist I thought was really fun. I was like, this is yeah. And him interacting with Orson Randall. It's just so. It just makes me so happy.
Yeah,
it's like more Iron Fist.
Orson in hell is like, yeah, that's where he'd end up. And Orson's not even mad about it. He's just like, yeah, I'm in hell, baby. Where else was I going? And you're like, yeah.
Well, next set of books. Now we're gonna go mostly Ultimate Universe stuff. But Ultimate Universe Year 2, 2 years in. Talk about that real quick. I think this is mostly Guardians of the Galaxy focused. I thought this was really good. It was really interesting.
It's so good, and it makes me so fucking like
sad that it's good. That this thing's ending.
Why the fuck is it ending? Like, I know we haven't talked about it because like the last time we were on the podcast, we were like still unsure of whether or not it was really ending. But like since then, we've gotten full confirmation from Denise Camp, and Denise Camp put out an entire like Twitter thread statement saying about how it's ending, like officially, and how it is like creatively that's the choice they made. And then all of the writers who were involved were like, I didn't know it was ending. I thought we were gonna hand off these books to other people and they were gonna do another run and then it was gonna maybe end. And
yeah,
I was like, oh wow, because you had even Hickman going like, oh, I thought this was going longer.
I honestly think, again, I think we said it before, but it was an editorial move. I don't think the writers.
It's 100% editorial move, and God bless Denise Camp for trying to make the best of it by basically being the spokesperson for the line. But really fucking stupid decision. Really fucking stupid decision. It's really stupid.
It's selling more than the main universe stuff right now.
It's
like,
so
just business wise.
It's one of the dumbest decisions I've seen in a while in comics. I mean, DC also had that. You know, DC firing what's her name for that Red Hood book was equally stupid. And both these companies are making really fucking stupid moves for no reason. Like, it's not that hard to keep these books going, especially when they're this good and they're selling that well. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, because like you said, Ultimate Universe 2 years in, it's all about the Guardians. It's basically Denise Camp going, hey man, I kind of wanted to do an Ultimate Guardians book, but since the universe is ending, here's all the shit I would have had in it. Like an Ultron model named what was it? U82, and then that being Uatu.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's great. Ultimate
his version
Daredevil
of
good.
I was like his version of Multiple Man. Oh, it was crazy.
Multiple Man, and then Ultimate Daredevil's being the Beyonder who had an accident and had his senses dulled. And I'm like, oh my god, now and then in the book they're like, yeah, he got his senses dulled from his omnipotent like millions dished down to 13 senses. So he's Ultimate Daredevil. And you're like, that's so fucking cool.
The fight between Ultimate Daredevil and the Guardians, where he's literally like breaking panel borders and being because he can see things outside of the bleed of the panels. He's literally like 2 steps ahead of them. And fighting them, it was amazing. It was so good.
It was so fun. It was so fun. It was so good. It's literally just them going like, yeah. Denise Camp's like, yeah, it's over. Like, this is all cool shit. I wanted to talk more about, but instead we'll just go through it right now.
It's like if Jonathan Hickman like say like, okay, like I'm gonna pull an X-Men and just like leave after like 2 years of it being hot. Denise Camp would have been a great choice to carry on the Ultimate Universe for sure. But
Denise Camp is already carrying on the Ultimate Universe. Like, he has literally been running the whole show, like, the whole time. Like, everyone's been following his lead on the Ultimate. So, like, it's just kind of weird to end it when everyone's kind of ready to go. And every single person involved wants more, except the editorial for some reason. Exactly. Doesn't make any sense. Really stupid. And it's totally going to bite them in the ass. It's totally going to bite them in the ass. Because the Absolute books are going to they're going to keep selling so much. And Marvel's going to be stuck there going like, do you guys want like the 8th Scarlet Witch book in hopes that there's going to be crossover this time and the Scarlet Witch fans are finally going to learn to read? No, dude, they're not here, okay? The Ultimate Universe was bringing heads in, and now you're just throwing the whole thing away. Like, doesn't make any sense.
It's so stupid. But yeah, man, I thought this issue was great. And again, I just thought that seeing Denise Camp do more of this version of the Guardians of the Galaxy and how they're pretty much trying to like salvage everything and trying to restore everything that the maker has like changed and corrupted, but realize that his what he's done is so everlasting and so like damn near permanent that they're just trying to say whatever they can, and I love that a lot. And so besides that, Ultimate Spider-Man number 23, the second to last issue, I thought it was good. Again, it was more the it's kind of like the climax of like, you know, the finale.
This was fun. I did like the way Hickman set up everyone being involved. I really enjoyed it. I like the setup of like the broadcast happening at the same time as Richard and Black Hat are bugging Fisk Tower at the same time that Green Goblin and Mysterio are meeting with Captain Britain at the same time that Peter's just fist fighting both Kingpin and Mr. Negative and Fisk. And it was just very fun, all of it happening at the same time. Superior Otto being like, oh no, I can't go out. There's important things I need to do. And then Peter's daughter just sitting there going like,
you're
you
a piece
could
of
be
shit.
Superior. And you're like, he's gonna show up, isn't he, next issue or something. But this is fun. This is probably the best way that this book could end. But it still feels hamstrung because it does feel like we hit fast forward a little bit. And even Hickman hit fast forward. He skipped 3 months because he was literally like, I have too much stuff to do in a finale. I have to do this very quickly. And, you know, I think much has been said about the monthly thing, the monthly time span for these issues. I think it was fine if it gave way into that time scale being broken after this first Maker appearance. You know what I mean? Like if it was a monthly thing counting down for 2 years, and then after that that monthly thing went away and they were kind of just telling their own stories, that would have been sick as fuck. But since it's ending now, I do feel like the monthly thing really hamstrung all these stories because they were kind of told very piecemeal and very like, well, now we have to skip, now we have to do this. Hickman was doing crazy shit, like having one issue take place on the 30th and another take place on the 1st, just so he could do a 2-parter. Yeah. You're like, you know what I mean? And it's funny that they were doing that, but yeah, this issue was good. It was fun. I popped hard at the end when Peter like was standing up, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Look, yeah, but, stand up,
ultimately, yeah, I just wish I got more.
Yeah, like because it does feel like because when I read this, I was like, and it said, "Oh, like to be concluded." I was like, "Oh, this is the end." Like, damn. I was like,
"Yeah, like you're like."
Because it feels like there's more they could do with this.
Yeah. And it's like, and it sucks, and it's so depressing because like you look over at the Absolute books and Scott Snyder's literally standing there going like, man, I could write 70 of these, and you're like, why can't we do that with Hickman? What's going on? Where am I? Like, Marvel, please help me out here. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it's ridiculous. It's so buy these issues. They're good issues. Just like. Fucking let Marvel editorial know that these books sell and the others really don't, except for Moonlight Fisiconchi. Go buy that. But
continue to buy that all the time. But all right, so we'll move on to the next set of books. Yeah, it's getting late, so we gotta like pick up the pace a little bit. But Ultimates and Ultimate Black Panther.
That Ultimates issue was sick. I love that speech that Tony gave. I know a lot of people are saying it was very pamphlet-y, and I'm like, yeah, it's a political speech announcing a revolution. Of course it's going to sound pamphlet-y because he's laying out what the fuck is going to happen. And he was rallying everyone. And it was very cool to see everyone come together. And I was like, oh, shit, look. And they had those flashes to the other books. And I was like, hell yeah.
I thought it was so dope seeing my favorite moment during the speech, and we're seeing all these different moments and all these heroes coming together. I love when you saw Luke Cage pop out of that prison with his enhanced prisoners. I thought it was sick as hell. And I was like, this is dope. Yeah. Yeah, man, it was really good. Yeah, the idea of like, okay, this is the state of the Ultimate Universe right now, and this is the state of the Ultimate's impact on the course of the book, and how Tony is using not just the existing heroes, but also the civilians that they're able to inspire along the way to join up with them, and not only the civilians, but also just like even said at one point where it was like, yeah, some of our enemies that we're gonna even fight, you guys can still have a chance to, like, do the right thing, like, to resist. I thought it was amazing, and again, very meta to now, like it's in terms of the themes that were being addressed here. I loved it a lot, man. And again, Denny's camp, man. I'm seeing every time I read Ultimates, I understand why E.B. glazes this man so much. He's an amazing writer, dude. He's so good.
Yeah, you read Absolute Martian Manhunter, and you read Assorted Crisis Events, and you're like, damn, this guy's got it. This guy's locked in.
And again, it also feels kind of wild that like that is the Ultimates. This is 18 the last issue, or is like the second to last issue?
No, all these books are going to 24.
Okay, so we have some more time with Ultimates then. So yeah, I'm really that was great. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the next issue for Ultimates for sure. Old Black Panther, also good. Again, this is the climax of the ending of this book. Dude, yeah, having Black Panther, not just Black Panther, but Black Panther, Storm, Killmonger, Okoye, Shuri, all the Dora Milaje of Wakanda facing off against T'Challa and Storm's prophecy son that the Voodoo Khan ushered in. It was crazy to try to bring, because that he's like a gateway to like the progenitors. I thought that was nuts. And Bass coming in to help them out was great. Like Brian Hill, listen, you took your sweet ass time, but you cooked with this. Know what I mean? Like, you really cooked with this shit. So I'm proud. I'm proud of you for that. But yeah, man. So I'm very, and that ending was crazy to be like, oh shit, like now it's gonna be like a meta face off between T'Challa and their son. And I thought it was wild, but like kind of fair that like Bass was like, he's literally a vessel. There's like any innocence that your son had was gone in like 2.3 seconds. Like, he's really a vessel.
That fucker's gone.
Yeah, like, so I thought that was. I thought that was a way, kind of an interesting, like, morality shift of the course of the story. But yeah, bro, what are your thoughts on real quick on Ultimate Black Panther?
Yeah, it's good. In retrospect, I like the series a lot. I think it's like third favorite for me. It's good. It was good. It may be fourth. It started off slow, picked up a lot. These last few arcs have been really fun. Really, really ethereal, really funky versions of like Wakandan spirituality and lore and stuff, which I find interesting. Mm-hmm. Again, sucks to see it fucking end on me, but
that's more of the story with all these books, to be honest with you.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's good stuff. So definitely y'all check this out, please. It is good. The last two sets of books are Ultimate X-Men and Ultimate Wolverine. Ultimate X-Men, I thought this issue was fine. It really is just like, all that happens is that like Hisako kills Hisako and Kageyama, Shadow King. They just kill each other, and that's pretty much how it ends.
And you're like, oh!
You're like, oh shit! And then like, well, there's like, but like, and like, they're grieving her loss, but like May Storm is convinced that like Hisako's still alive somehow, somewhere. And they also said that like that Viper said that they I think she's talking to Sunfire via the phone, but they imply that like they can't sense that his like Kageyama's signature, his signature is gone, but like they can sense Hisako in multiple places. So like it's implied that like, yeah, she's still alive somewhere, and Maystorm's gonna try to figure out how to is set to find her, as well as liberate and help mutants along the way as like the X-Men, her version of the X-Men. So, yeah, what are your thoughts on Ultimate X-Men, by the way, Seamus?
I think Ultimate X-Men overall will be looked at as one of the best Ultimate books. I think it's going to be that or Ultimates, because I don't think Ultimate Spider-Man really did enough. It's going to be fun. There's going to be moments of it that you revisit, but I think as a whole, entire, complete story package, Ultimate Spider-Man is just going to be looked at as like a good Spider-Man run. It's solid. But I think like Ultimates and Ultimate X-Men are really transformative runs on those characters specifically. And they're very interesting takes that also have a very strong story behind them. And yeah, like this issue was really crazy. Like they kill each other, and you're like, oh fuck! Like there's still 2 more issues of this fucking thing. What the hell's gonna happen? But yeah, I love this book a lot. I'm really sad to see it go. Peach Momoko.
It's the most creative. It's the most creative and the most unique out of all the Ultimate books, in my opinion.
Definitely, and that's why I think it might be my fave out of all of these Ultimate books. It's just Yeah, but yeah, do we want to talk about Ultimate Wolverine or do we?
You stopped reading it, didn't you?
Yeah, I did read all of it. Thanks.
I've been reading it.
I read all of it. I finished it.
I'm caught up. That last issue was like, what's the point of this? like they killed everybody. They killed all the characters that
They got literally everybody, and then this issue ends with Wolverine just killing everybody again, and then he's just like, now I get to make out with Jean.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, how boring of an ending.
This is boring.
No disrespect to Chris Condon, but you really didn't have any other ideas for a possible ending that would have been, or a story that would have been a little more transformative for Logan, a little more interesting for any of these old X-Men characters and how it relates to the idea that they're not really the X-Men anymore. Anything interesting that it fits in line with what's going on with the rest of the universe, because sure, maybe there were some cool ideas, but when the best thing in this book is that one issue where they just were like, yeah, this is what Sabretooth would be like if he was a good guy. That's the coolest thing they did, and that was it, And this was just easily my least favorite out of the Ultimate books. It's fine. It doesn't really do anything for me. It's just,
Yeah, it just feels like they couldn't figure out what else to do, so they just it just feels like a regular Wolverine book, just in the Ultimate Universe with a few dystopian elements to it. It's not really that much. It's not really that different from main continuity Wolverine. I wish Chris Condon did something that did the rest of the rest of the book, did something that would the introduction of this character was dope. Having him be the Winter Soldier was dope. But then when halfway through the story, halfway through the run, where it's just he stops being the Winter Soldier and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna be regular Wolverine. No, there's still there could still be a.
What are we doing? I bought into this book because they looked me dead in the eye and they said he's the Winter Soldier, and I went yes. And then I read this book and I just got the most standard boring Wolverine and Jean romance I've ever seen.
Yeah. So
and for half of this book, I was just this is the worst one for me. Not just because I think it's awful. I still like some parts about it, but it's just boring. There's nothing that sets it apart other than seeing Wolverine, seeing this version of the opposition, and then Wolverine clashing with magic and Colossus. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's disappointing, but is this gonna run? Is this gonna run for 24? Is it gonna run for
No, it's over. It's over. It was gonna run for 6. Yeah, it was gonna run. It was gonna run for 6, and then it got extended because people were buying it to 12, and now that's it.
This is the end, huh? Shit. This.
Yeah, that's why I said it ended on Jean and Wolverine kissing, because that's
this
it.
Sucks, dude. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this book honestly was a waste. I didn't know this was the last one, so I'm like, damn, this was a waste, bro. Could have done way more with this. But yeah, one book that I wanted, I didn't put on here that's from Marvel that I forgot to put on here was Blade Red Band. I don't know if you've been reading Blade Red Band. It's fine. It's cool. It's not as good as it's not as good as Brian Hill's. It's still Brian Hill writing it, but it's not as good as the Brian Hill's first Blade run. You know.
Yeah.
It's fine, but it's all right. It's they do a good job of trying to make Blade have more empathy for vampires than he usually does. Which I thought was very interesting.
They're making him less racist, which is nice.
Yeah. Where was an interesting idea where like sometimes even though Blade is like hell bent on exterminating vampires on the face of the earth, there are vampires who have been turned against their will that are just trying to live normal lives or have a sense of normalcy.
We know this already. We've been reading Reese for about a couple of years.
Yeah. So I like the fact that they kind of like try to go towards Blade's empathy a little bit in the recent issue, but I just want to acknowledge it. Any Marvel books you want to just mention before we close it out?
Oh, okay. I got 3 real quick. Imperial ended by Hickman about Cosmic Marvel.
I didn't read that shit.
Okay, well, people were mad because they said that people were acting out of character, which I was like, because so basically, the whole end of the book is that the entire assassination conspiracy that killed Jason of Spartax and started a war with the Wakandans, the Kree, the Skrulls, and like everyone in space was orchestrated by Black Bolt and Maximus of the Inhumans to regain the Inhumans back in a seat of power after they got wiped out after the death of the Inhumans. And so Nova and Star-Lord find out about it, and instead of uncovering the entire conspiracy theory, Star-Lord kind of goes along with it, and he's like, well, it's what my dad and sister would have wanted. And people were saying that was out of character because Star-Lord hated his dad. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And now that his dad's dead, like most people, they get very sentimental and make very unreasonable decisions. Like, yeah, of course, the guy who's kind of been portrayed as a man-child is going to regress to a very childlike view of honoring his parents. Like, yeah, of course, he's going to take the throne of Spartax and try to rule and probably fail at it because he's not cut out for that, and he's only doing it out of grief. Like, and people were really up in arms about that and how him and Richard Rider have a very big breakup because of it. And I'm like, dude, these characters like sometimes are allowed to regress. I know people hate when regression happens, but sometimes it's okay because you're pointing out that people are not infallible. You know what I mean? Star-Lord is probably the least fallible person in space because he literally fucks up all the time. And it's like, yeah, this is like a much more emotionally tenuous fuck up where it's like, and I was okay with it because literally like the Wakandans go along with it because Black Panther's like, well, this is an opportunity for me to expand my empire out here, and everyone just goes along with it. And Richard Rider's the only one who's like, holy shit, no way we're going along with this. Like, they fucked up, and so then Richard Rider gets like kind of exiled, and that spins off into the other book I wanted to talk about, Nova Centurion, where Richard Rider is trying to make some coin, and he eventually, because he has the world mine, and the world mine requires a lot of energy to keep alive, and he needs money to get that energy. So he takes out a contract to find who stole from the Kree vaults, and he finds that the person who was stealing from it was Ravenous. Oh. And so this whole first arc is Richard Rider basically hunting Ravenous. And in the second issue, he like shaves his beard, and he looks like he's like 2005 Annihilation Nova. And he's like, dude, I want Ravenous to know who the fuck I am when he sees me. I don't want to be slubby like fucking Nova. And so then this second issue, him and Ravenous fight, and I was like, yeah, more Annihilation shit by Jed McKay. It's been good. I would recommend it. It's been really fun. Pip the Troll's like his manager, which is fun. And then also the last book I want to talk about was Infernal Hulk by Philip Kennedy Johnson. It's the first.
How was that? Because I forgot that was coming out.
It's so okay. It's as weird as Immortal Hulk, which is exactly what I want. Like, so Bruce and the Hulk are separated. I don't know who the Hulk is right now, or if the Hulk's a separate guy right now. But Bruce is working at a random office in Ohio, and he's like completely divorced from superhero life. He's gone away from it. He doesn't even. It's almost like I don't know if it's a memory thing or if it's him choosing to be like, I don't care about that anymore. But so Hulk is now like the king of the monsters, and he's like can summon these like eldritch Cthulhu-esque monsters and shit like that. And so he's going around Earth awakening monsters and trying to like raise an army. And like so the second issue, he's in Atlantis, and he awakens a monster that attacks Atlantis, and Namor is like trying to fight it, and Hulk comes up and like calms it, and Namor's like, fucking, I see Hulk, the Avengers were saying you were all weird and shit, but look, you just fucking saved our lives. And then Hulk like chokes him out, and he's like, and Hulk's like talking like he's like some like, oh, it's like in a very odd way where he's like, you will not be raised for the monster army and you're like, whoa, who the fuck is this guy? So like right now it's very, yeah, literally. And right now, so it's very weird. It's very interesting. The art is crazy with all the monster designs and the weird fucking shit that's happening. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting a lot of like very weird Hulk run vibes. And I love a very weird Hulk run that does shit like that. So I'm excited. He said he's going to go for as long as he can on this, which I'm like,
okay,
I'll be there for it.
I'll check out the first issue.
I think it's a baller move to sign your like exclusivity contract, and the first character you ask for is Hulk. Like that's how I know you're a writer that I will respect forever, by being like, no, I don't want Daredevil, I don't want Wolverine, I don't want any of that. Give me Hulk right now.
Yeah, it's a baller move for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, good shit. Honestly, from what I've been reading, it sucks the Ultimate Universe is ending though. So
yeah, no, it's been a good few weeks of just good comics, dude. Like I've been digging it. And people who are watching this, if there's any comic books that you wanna recommend or tell us what you're reading, put it in the comment section down below.
Shout it out.
Yeah, and if you've read any of the stuff that we talked about, what are your thoughts on it? We'd love to hear it. But yeah, all right. So that's pretty much it. So thanks for everyone who are watching this or who are watching. We appreciate it. Please, if you're not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button, leave a like on the video, and hit the notification bell so you know when we drop new content. Again, we're kind of getting towards. It's pretty much towards the end of the year, and we're just trying to like pretty much figure out what videos we want to do. I know we're gonna have to fit. We gotta do Safe Word for Why Last Man. That has to happen before the year's over. Because
when are we gonna do that?
I don't know. We're gonna figure it out.
I'm not gonna fucking film in Ireland, man. I'm not gonna be like in camera, like on a cliff, going like, yeah. So Safe Word is this really psychosexual exploration of masculinity? Like, no, that's
what the Irish need. That's not what the Irish need to hear, bro. That's what they need.
I know. I'm gonna be in the middle of like fucking Dublin, going like, so she's molesting him, but she's not.
Yeah, so we'll figure out what other videos we're gonna do before the year is over. But please, if you haven't already, please check out our last After Dark. We need a comic book catch up. Please check out the Last Man stuff. We check out the Fright Month stuff. Please check out the clips and the highlights, the interviews. I'm gonna try to squeeze in an interview before the year's over. Because there's one of my boys has a Kickstarter out right now that I would love to put y'all onto. And and also look up for the reactions. Look up. We're doing the Supergirl reaction.
Doomsday probably.
Wait, when is that coming out?
Literally, like in like next week, like Monday.
Okay, well, look out for those. I know Supergirl's gonna be tomorrow for sure.
And Doomsday might be less of a reaction and more of us talking about it, but we'll see.
Sure. Yes, and so please, we appreciate the support. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And as always, get home safe, and we'll catch you next time. All right, peace.